All right, let's talk about something that gets to pretty much all of us: comparison. It's one of the most toxic habits of our digital age, for sure. But more importantly, we're going to dive into a powerful and kind of surprising ancient way to beat it.
You know the feeling, right? You're just scrolling, minding your own business, and then, bam, you see it. Someone got engaged, someone got a huge promotion, someone's on a perfect trip. And all of a sudden, that little voice in your head starts whispering, wow, they're so far ahead. And look at me. I'm still just here. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone.
And this is the trap, isn't it? We end up taking our real, everyday lives, with all the messy, complicated, sometimes boring, but also wonderful parts, and we put it up against someone else's perfectly polished highlight reel. It's an impossible and totally unfair fight.
So let's get into the nitty-gritty of this. Why do we fall for this? What is it about social media that just creates this perfect storm for comparison? What's the psychology behind this constant feeling that we need to measure up?
Well, the comparison trap really works in a few key ways. First off, we're only seeing the polished, finished product. We never see the years of struggle, the failures, the messy stuff that went into it. Second, and this is so important, we completely forget that every single person's path is supposed to be unique. And finally, we make this huge mistake of taking one single perfect photo and thinking it represents someone's entire life.
We tend to think this is a brand new problem, born from our phones and our apps. But what if the problem isn't our modern world at all? What if the real issue is that we've just lost touch with a really ancient truth? What if the solution has been sitting there, waiting for us, for literally thousands of years?
And that brings us to the Bhagavad Gita. It's this ancient Indian text that, believe it or not, has this incredibly profound take on our very modern problem. And it all boils down to understanding your own unique nature.
This one line, this is the key to everything. It's saying that we are all basically hardwired to follow a path that is uniquely our own. It's not about being better or worse than anyone else's path. It's just ours.
The Gita has this amazing word for this idea, svabhava. You can think of it like your authentic blueprint. It's your deep, inborn disposition, that unique mix of talents and tendencies and quirks that makes you, you. It's not something you choose, it's just what you are.
Okay, so here's the mind-blowing shift. That person you're envying, they're just acting out their own svabhava. They're living out the results of their own actions, their karma. So trying to copy them is kind of like a fish trying to live like a bird. It's not just going to be hard, it goes against your very nature.
Now, if we can accept this idea of a unique nature, the entire goal of life just completely shifts. Suddenly, it's not about winning someone else's race anymore. It's about finding and then walking your own path. And that means we have to completely redefine what success even looks like.
I mean, just think about how powerful this is. The Gita is telling us that a messy, imperfect, maybe even clumsy life that is authentically yours is infinitely more valuable than a perfect life that's just a copy of someone else's. It's authenticity over imitation, every single time.
It really just boils down to this. Comparison is always creating this gap, this distance between who you truly are and who you think you should be. But when you focus on your own path, your own actions, your karma, that's what closes the gap. That's what reconnects you to your authentic self.
So, if success isn't about all that external stuff, the likes, the applause, the promotions, then what is it? Well, according to this wisdom, true success is all internal. It's that feeling of deep inner peace you get when you know your actions are lined up with your true nature, with your svabhava.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do this? How do we take this ancient philosophy and make it work in our everyday lives, especially when our phone is buzzing with notifications every 5 seconds? Let's get practical.
You know that feeling. It's that familiar little pang in your stomach, that wave of envy or feeling less than that just washes over you when you see someone else's win. The next time that happens, instead of letting it spiral, you can try this really simple mental exercise.
It's just a 3-step process. First, just notice the feeling without judging it. Just say to yourself, okay, there's that comparison feeling again. Second, consciously bring to mind your svabhava, your unique blueprint. Remind yourself, my path is not supposed to look like theirs. And third, just gently bring your focus back to your own work, your own journey, your own karma.
And it all comes back to this one simple, direct, and honestly incredibly freeing truth.
You can't live someone else's karma. You're just not equipped for their life. And guess what? They aren't equipped for yours. Your energy is precious. Spend it on your own journey.
And here's the beautiful part. This isn't a limitation. It's a feature. This is what makes the world interesting. The path that brings you total fulfillment might bring someone else a ton of stress, and the goals they're chasing might leave you feeling completely empty. Your path is tailor-made just for you.
Ultimately, this whole thing is about shifting your focus away from the external world of digital likes and validation and toward the internal world of self-acceptance. The real work and the real peace is found in that quiet space beyond all the noise where it's just you and your own truth.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. Just for a moment, forget what everyone else is doing. Forget the noise, forget the pressure. What is your unique path, your svabhava, calling you to do, right now, today?